Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So according to feedback and some comments I've seen recently on the channel, there are a lot of you who feel that Microsoft Edge for desktop is becoming unnecessarily bloated with features. And I have touched on this in some previous videos. And as we can see in the stable version of Edge, which is currently on version 114, there is a lot going on. When it comes to the user interface of the browser, things are looking very cluttered and bloated when a lot of these default features are left enabled. Now, in response to some questions and comments, I'm just going to try and show you today how you can try and declutter and bring about a more minimal interface and user experience and browsing experience, and to some degree or other try and speed up your browser. And in case you didn't know, most of these features can be turned off and toggled off just by changing a couple of settings in Microsoft Edge for desktop. Now, the settings we are going to turn off today and change are currently available at the time of posting this video. This may change in the future, so just take note of that. And we are going to change default settings. We're not going to use experimental flags or anything like that. We're just going to focus on settings that are available to the everyday average user that are buried into and in the actual Edge browser for desktop. Now, it goes without saying before we start turning off settings, if you are using any of these settings or options or features, it goes without saying then you would leave the relevant setting turned on, because obviously everybody's needs and preferences are different when it comes to their browser and their browsing experience. Now, with that all out the way, just to start on the new tab page, and if I do leave out one or two settings, just let me know in the comments, because I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible as to not draw this video out and make it too long. Now, starting on the new tab page, first of all, we head up to the page settings, our gear icon, and here we're going to turn off the layout. We're going to just change it from whatever you have to focused. Quick links, which are your shortcuts on your new tab page, we're going to turn those off. And then recent Bing searches, which are found just under the search bar, we're going to turn those off. The greeting here in the top left, we're going to turn that off. And any new tab tips, we're going to disable. And then the news feed here at the bottom, we're going to turn content completely off. And we can see already on the new tab page, things are looking a lot better. Now, for the next stage, we're going to head into the main menu and head to the settings. And I'm going to head to the left-hand menu, and I'm going to start from the bottom up. First of all, we're going to click on System and Performance. And a setting which I definitely feel you should disable permanently in the Edge browser is this setting, which I have posted on previously, which says continue running background extensions and apps when Microsoft Edge is closed. Turn that off if it's turned and toggled on. And I have posted a whole video on that, and I'll leave a link down below to that video, because turning this on will make your browser a lot snappier and save system resources. And then something else I would suggest, as you can see, I have Startup Boost turned off as well. I don't personally feel that Startup Boost makes any difference to actually boosting the startup of the browser, so I suggest turning both of those settings off. Now, for the next set, we're going to head to the sidebar. And although we can't actually disable the sidebar, we can prevent it from being displayed in the browser. So you just toggle that setting off. And then Bing Chat, we're going to remove the Bing Chat icon and the Discover button in the top right. And we're just going to toggle that off. Then moving to the Appearance page, I would suggest if you have a theme enabled, just use your system default and the default theme of the actual browser. That's my suggestion. And then, as I posted earlier today, on a controlled rollout, there is a Project Phoenix new look and feel that's been made available in the desktop browser, which does bring more rounded tabs, rounded browser frame, and so on. And I'll also leave that video down below. But if you want to bring back the old classic look, then just toggle this feature off. And just take note, we'll have to restart the browser to apply the older look or the more classic look, and you can see that the color has taken on a more darker gray. The rounded tabs have disappeared, and the browser frame now is square once again. But if you want to leave that on, I don't think it actually interferes with the actual look of the browser, but for this video I'm going to toggle that off. Then, making our way down, I'm going to turn off Show Tab Actions menu. So that shows your vertical tabs and your different actions for your menus. I'm turning that off. And another thing we're going to try is Show Tab Preview on hover. That's going to take away the hover card preview when you hover over a tab. And then Workspaces is also a feature that rolled out recently to the stable version. We're going to turn that off as well. Now, if you have your favorites bar enabled, then we're going to head to that and we're going to click Never. We can see now that will never show the favorites bar. And the home button, which I do use on a regular basis, but for today's video, I'm going to turn that off just to declutter the browser. The forward button, I like to have it always shown, but for today's video, we're going to click show automatically, and that removes that forward button. It only appears if you have to go forward to a web page. And most of these features, guys, I have posted on previously individually. So if you want more information regarding a individual setting, then just do a search accordingly on the channel to give you more info. And then the extensions button, which is this button, which obviously shows your extensions, we're going to never show. And then what I would suggest is if you aren't using any of these quick shortcut buttons in the toolbar, just turn every single one of those off. And obviously, as I mentioned, if you are using any of these features, then just leave the relevant setting enabled. Quite a lot to go through. And there we go. And then if you want to get access to these actual features that are available for the shortcut buttons, although you've turned them off in the toolbar, most of these are actually available in the main menu. So you can turn those off to declutter the browser without actually removing the feature. And then for the next, we're going to go to the privacy search and services. Now, these are basically under the hood adjustments, which will really just declutter the actual notifications and little annoyances that may pop up from time to time in the actual browser. And yeah, we're going to head down on the privacy search and services page to the services section. And yeah, we're going to turn off a couple of settings. We're going to go and turn off show collections and follow content creators in Microsoft Edge. We'll obviously have to restart the browser because some of these will require a browser restart. Let's head back down to the bottom. And then we're going to go turn off show suggestions to follow creators in Microsoft Edge and get notifications of related things you can explore with Discover. And I think that's more or less it for this page. And now if we head back to our new tab page, you can see now that things are looking a lot less cluttered, and we have brought a much more minimal interface to the Edge web browser. And you'll also see with all of this clutter and bloat disabled and turned off, it will actually speed up your browser to some extent or the other and bring a much more snappier browser and a much faster browsing experience. So that's more or less how you can declutter and bring a more minimal interface to the Edge browser for desktop. And as mentioned, if you have another setting or two that I may have missed, just let me know in the comments. And as mentioned, those settings are available at the time of posting this video today on the 3rd of July, 2023. And I think that looks a lot better if you are looking for a decluttered and less bloated Edge web browser for desktop. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.